This popcorn-style review contains scenes from another video. The Price of Smiles is an anime that takes place in the far future in a different world where humanity has apparently moved to other planets, but it takes place on one specific planet, which name I don't fucking remember. And it is set on a world where almost all of the prevalent military technology is based around mechs that are powered by some random mineral that they discovered on the planet that we later find out more is causing the destruction of the world or some blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, the planet is split in half by two countries, one of which is an empire centered around the military, and the other one is a monarchy that we don't know too much about, but the monarchist side has significantly more advanced technology and the people are generally have a higher quality of life as opposed to the militaristic empire where the quality of life is significantly lower, there's less resources, and everything is just generally shittier and they have worse technology. And it opens up with the main character who is named Princess Yuki, who is just turned 12 and is ready to start taking over the duties of her kingdom. But what she doesn't know is that they are actually already at war with the military empire, and her advisors try and keep this from her, but she ends up finding out later that they are already at war with the military empire who is invading them for their technology and their resources. And so what the show, and the show also has a secondary main character who is one of the soldiers of the Empire named Stella, but she has very minimal impact on the plot and almost doesn't matter at all. She's just a grunt soldier. She makes a few decisions towards the end, but most of it's just nothing. And Yuki's basically the main character, and she kind of goes into this like naive sort of like headspace where she's trying to make it so everyone survives, including the enemies, and she wants to make everyone happy and smile at the end. And her actions throughout the show generally get people killed more often than not. Like, she definitely makes the situation worse with almost her every decision. And what's interesting is that at the beginning, they kind of show that she has like a good mind for battle tactics, but because of her actual like mind space about how she doesn't want anyone to get hurt, she never really uses them except for in like two instances to retreat from battles. And it ends up getting people in more and more problems. And like when she starts taking over military and making military decisions, more people start dying to the Empire. So she's actually a terrible leader is what I'm saying. But again, she's 12. And honestly, I think 12 is too young to be sitting on that fucking throne. She should definitely be under the command of a regent until she is, like, actually psychologically mature enough to understand the situation. I will say that the show is actually pretty good. It manages to create several moments of genuine dramatic tension. It actually kept me guessing. It kept me wanting to watch multiple times. I was like, all right, this is the last episode. And then the end of the episode stinger gets out. And I'm like, well, okay, fine. One more episode. It does make an interesting decision, though, which is that the monarchist side, I genuinely do not remember what Yuki's fucking group is called. The Kingdom, I think. I think one side's the Empire and one side's the Kingdom. We're going to call them Yuki's group. Yuki's group is obviously, you know, they're the defenders, they're being attacked, they're the ones being ruled by a child and everyone's dying and it's all terrible. But we don't spend as much time with their groups outside of military endeavors and like seeing like the tragic losses and Yuki making a bunch of dumb fucking decisions as we do with Stella's group in the Empire, who Stella's group is really more humanized. And I think the decision to humanize the aggressors is an interesting one and an important one, because it shows that the Empire isn't completely evil and that they do have reasons and motivations for what they're doing. But the amount of humanization that the Empire cast receives in comparison to Yuki's group is like so much more And it kind of undermines your appreciation for the Empire's group in that you know that they're the aggressors, and multiple scenes, multiple episodes even, are dedicated to how their attack on Yuki's kingdom is actively making everyone's lives worse and how they feel bad about it. So the decision to almost exclusively humanize that side and kind of just leave Yuki and her crew to just deal with the military implications of the war is kind of not a great one. And I feel like they're just banking on the knowledge that Yuki's group is not the aggressors so that you automatically feel for them, but it ends up creating that side of the field to be a little flat. Overall, it was a pretty good show. The ending was bullshit, but I definitely enjoyed the ride. It was good, not great. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic, your envoy of hope. Bye-bye.